Hey, y'all, listen. Happy Monday. Let me move my blanket out the way. Happy Monday, y'all. Listen, you know what time it is on Monday, what we do over here. We recap Real Housewives of Potomac. And child, I'm hanging in by a thread. I'm hanging in with the Real Housewives of Potomac by a thread, by a string. I mean, I'm literally just barely hanging in there because ain't nothing going on over there. But luckily, I love the Grande Dame. Thank God I love the Grande Dame. Okay. And because I love the Grande Dame, I am hanging in there. Hold on one second. Hey, Lisa. I'll be with you in a minute. Hey.
Hey, darling.
So, I'm hanging by a thread with Potomac. I'm hanging by a thread, but I'm still hanging in there because, like I said, ain't nothing going on. And you know why I'm hanging in there too? Because I love Karen. I love Karen. I love Karen with everything in me. The Grande Dame. She is definitely another one that is made for reality TV. Made for reality TV. And I'm really hanging in there for her, especially with Potomac, because Gizelle and Robyn are on my last nerve. I ain't got nothing left for them. Karen is the show. You better talk about it. Karen is definitely the show. Now, y'all want to know something too? I think I got a new name for the subs. Somebody said in my chat the other day that the subs should be called the passengers. Do y'all like that? Yeah, do y'all like the passengers? I think we may have to name y'all the passengers instead of the grade tribe. But I'm liking that. I'm liking the passengers. So I think I'm gonna lean towards that. Yeah, it's so boring. They're just stretching it. They are stretching it, and yes, it is boring. Without Karen, there would not be a show. There would not be a show without Karen. She is definitely the anchor. She's definitely the anchor. And I know y'all gonna pass out. You're gonna pass out. This whole Wendy and Nneka thing, I'm over that too. Are you here for it, Savannah? I love it. I thought it was cute. I'm over it too. The Nneka and the Wendy thing. I'm just over it. I'm over the whole situation. I'm over Gizelle still acting like, you know what? She was done so dirty by Candace and Wendy that she cannot speak to them whatsoever. Listen, guys, we had Gizelle and Ashley. They coming out with a leisure wear line. Those two are doing the fashion. Listen, I will say this. When you on a reality show like that, you smart to go ahead and start building different other avenues of where you can make money. Okay, you should have multiple streams of income. Now, I wish those two well, right? And the Grande Dame is taking the people to Surry. She done bought her, I think it's the great grandmother's house or the grandmother. She bought the grandmother's house. I thought that was cute. Okay. Mia and Robyn go to the salt sanctuary. I'm over Robyn, but that's me. Wendy and Eddie had lunch. I thought that was a cute scene. Anything where the couples are really still together, I love it. They're a very cute couple. And listen, Happy Eddie, when somebody gives you a lemons, they said make lemonade, and that's exactly what he did, right? They called them Happy Eddie last season, and so now Eddie has a whole cannabis line, and he's calling it Happy Eddie. I thought that was smart. Listen, I ain't into the cannabis, but you know what? Hey, do what you got to do. Ray and Karen went out on a date. Ray hanging in there. Ray hanging in there. They had a date and it was cute, right? So Nneka and Ike, they're in their new home. Yeah, they're in their new home. So we're gonna see how this goes. Karen claimed it was in North Potomac. I mean, is it really that serious? North Potomac, South Potomac, Potomac. What? Somebody gotta tell me. I don't live out that way. What's the difference? The home is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it is. Cherise came over and Karen was at the house. And then Nneka's still talking about getting pregnant. Okay. And so at first, Karen extended the invite to a select few. But then when Gizelle said she wasn't coming, Karen opened the door for everybody. Before it was just a crack. She was only inviting a few of them. And then Gizelle said, nope, she's not coming. Because Gizelle said, I cannot be around Wendy or Candace. Now, I know what Candace did to her, allegedly, but what did Wendy do to her that she cannot be around Wendy? But you know what's funny? They said if you want forgiveness, you should be forgiven. That's how the world works. But Wendy won't forgive Nneka. So then how do you expect forgiveness to come your way? Check that and think about that. Usually doesn't work that way. Doesn't happen like that, right? But that's what she expected. And I mean, when I say, and listen, don't get crazy. I already know y'all. I already know what Nneka did. But when I say she is 10 toes down and being extremely nasty to Nneka and won't cut her no break so they can just end this feud, I'm not saying they got to be best friends. She won't cut her a break so they can end this feud. So then why do you think you should get a break cut by anybody else? Okay. Wendy read her about Jamal at that getaway. Oh, Wendy read her at that getaway about Jamal. Oh, so you saying she ain't coming back? Because she done got read for filth in these streets? Hey, everybody, I see you out there. Now, listen, guys, y'all know what we got to do. And this should be an easy, clean, 60-minute ride. Why? Because ain't nothing happened. Ain't nothing happened. But we're going to get into the nothingness of it all, okay? We're going to get into it. So y'all know what I need in that chat. Let me check this out, passengers. And I hope all y'all got your ticket. Y'all play the diva out. Get your ticket, people. Hit that like button. Hit the like button, people, because I'm about to board this train. I appreciate you, Savannah. All right, Brandon, have a hashtag the passengers. Come on now. I think I'm liking that. Listen, I need a what, y'all? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is time for Real Housewives of Potomac recap, okay? This is their 8th season. This was episode 11, and they said first come, first serve. That's the name of the episode. First come, first serve. I'm glad y'all got your ticket because I'm aboard this train with the people. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva. Passenger number 2.
Come on now. Hey, E. Not hashtag Megan's Law. I cannot. Hey, E.
Hey.
Hey, and hey, Lisa. Lisa's in the building. Nice to see you, boo. All right, y'all. Let's. Hold on now. SD Mac. Wait. SD Mac. Thank you for the super chat. Wendy said that there had to be steps taken before going full forgiveness with Nneka. Well, then you know what? That's fine. She sure did say that. But if we doing steps, then I guess it got to be step taken with the Green Eye Bandits before they let y'all back in the pearly gates. I mean, listen, do unto others as you shall want them to do unto you. Isn't that the word? That's what they said. Okay. So anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into this. All right, let's talk. So we have Ashley and Gizelle. They got themselves a clothing line. Yeah, they got themselves a clothing line. What is it? G&A? I'm trying to G&A. I'm trying to see how I feel about it. G&A. I mean, I guess it's kind of catchy. I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about the clothing line name with Gizelle and Ashley. G&A. Meaning Gizelle and Ashley. Does Jizzy work out? Listen. Now, can I tell you who can do a whole
dress with regular clothes? I don't want them trying to give us no athleisure wear.
Child, they sure cannot, but I was trying not to go down that road right now. But you want to know who could do some athletic wear? Jennifer Lopez. Honey, Jennifer Lopez got body for days. That chick got body. And listen, it's all through the gym and exercise. The Green Eye Barons are going on 2 years of not speaking to Wendy, which is dreadful. Dreadful. But you know what? They getting away with it. But again, I cannot be in these streets wanting somebody to forgive me, but I can't forgive nobody else. Mm-mm. And I'm not trying to get biblical on anybody, but I want to say the Bible says something about how many times should you forgive or whatever the case may be. It says 7 times 7 times 7, something like that. That means the bottom line is forgive. Please pull up on the GNA website, Basic Fashions. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna have to, as I let the people speak, I'm gonna have to pull up that website. Not Basic Fashions. Ashley and Gizelle's clothing line, as they said, is a hot mess. Oh, I mean, I wasn't expecting much from those two, because to me, they don't have it in them. They don't have no umph, right? What happened to every hue makeup? Listen, and I thought that name was very cute. It's a cute name, but it didn't go nowhere. But you know what though? Gizelle laughed about Karen doing her stuff. Gizelle laughed about Karen doing her stuff, and now Karen's still in Macy's going strong. And here Karen is trying to figure out what to do. Diva DNA got 6 pieces, one being a set of socks. Oh, I cannot. Okay, I'm going to pull it up after when the people start speaking. I'll pull it up in the background. So, that's done. And then finally, Aunt Val allowed Karen to purchase her grandmother's estate. It's good land. I like when Gizelle goes, not Gizelle, when Karen, the Grande Dame, goes back to, her roots. I appreciate every minute of it. I really do like Karen. I do. I like her a lot. Me and Robyn, they needed a scene because they wasn't going to go on the trip. So they needed a scene, and they went to this source sanctuary. And when they was there, I was laying back on my couch like this. And then I woke up again when they finished. They wasn't saying anything. They talking the same stuff over and over and over and over again. Robyn and Juan, they're not in counseling. Well, why would they be? They don't want this marriage to survive. And then, Wendy and Eddie, they go to lunch together. And he said he's still an attorney. They're both booked and busy, right? And he's going in the weed business, calling it Happy Eddie. Now, I don't know if you're caught where Wendy said that, she's a partner in this. She lent her money for the funds. But it was funny when she was doing the candles and everything else, they was pretending like Eddie gave up all the money. What I don't understand is, why do people got to tell the lies? What's the lies for? I'm not quite sure. So, and then, Ray and Karen go on a date. And then Nneka night, they're at the new house. I'll kind of stop there, and then we'll do the rest, the last scene last. In my opinion, what are your thoughts? And I'm going to pull up this website.
I like that Wendy and her husband, Eddie, woke up their son at midnight and told him happy birthday.
That was cute.
2 ditches. I thought that was amazing. Let me tell you something. I love the couples when they get together. True love. Okay. You can see the true love couples that's on here. Okay. We ain't talking about the frauds and everybody else. Because, I'm tired of the frauds on these shows. But I love the true couples that's on here.
Right.
But I was laughing when Karen said, "You're not finna order off the happy hour menu, okay? You gonna order off the real menu like you love your wife." I said, "Come on now, Karen." But yes, that's what I liked it. I really ain't got nothing for me, Robyn. She said she don't need to go to counseling because it didn't affect their marriage. I was like, it didn't? Okay, well, you like it, I love it. And that's about it.
I hear you. What is this, GNA? I can't find the website, y'all. Somebody send me the link.
GNA is Gizelle and Ashley.
No, I know, but I know it's Gizelle and Ashley, but I can't find the website. I'm trying to find it. Y'all gotta send me the link somewhere, because I sure can't pull it up. Oh, wait. Oh no, maybe. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna try to pull it up. I'll keep trying. So yeah, Savannah, you're up.
So Diva, the website looks like Giselle's house. It looks like a Mad Hatter. I don't know. It looks just like Giselle's house. It looks like a mess. I don't know. And if the clothing line looks anything like what Giselle had on that hot pink lace netted see-through. I don't know, and I can't recall. I mean, I remember Giselle loves to do a lot of water aerobics,
Yes,
which is great. I love doing water aerobics, so that's good. And if it, maybe she'll have some pieces that cater to that. I know Ashley's very into yoga, and she does have some yoga line, but she doesn't like to promote it because if you do promote your line on Bravo, they do get a cut out of it.
right,
But I don't. I've them being very athletic, like this athleisure line. I don't see that being very successful. Which surprised me that these two would team up, and the GNA name is
I
not
sent it to
very
you, Deidre.
catchy. And yes, six pieces is not. It does not make a success. I do love that they promote the couples and love, and so I enjoy that they get away from the mess and actually promote healthy relationships. So that was good to see Karen and Ray being out on a date, and seeing them two have their genuine love relationship, and then have Eddie and Wendy doing their thing as well. And him capitalizing off the name Happy Eddie. He does several events, pop-up events around the the DC area. I've seen the name. I didn't connect that that was him and that he capitalized from that. And because it surprised me that he went into the cannabis business, but he is doing quite a bit of pop-up events into promoting what he's doing. So kudos to Eddie, and now knowing that Wendy is a partner in that. So good for them. Um, Nneka and this home. If you're an attorney, why not have movers? I thought movers or have someone set up. I mean, when I move, I don't want people visiting me. I just moved in. I don't want um I'm trying to get settled in. I don't want people move. I have boxes all over. The house is unsettled. I just didn't want. I don't know. I don't want company right away. I don't know why Sharice and Giselle. It just seemed everything was all over the place, and I didn't see the purpose um, of Giselle and Sharice all coming over. And we'll get into her planned event later. But I don't know. Nneka is seems to be a follower, and I didn't. I'm questioning her. Is she really an attorney? I didn't understand why she didn't have movers, or what are those people that do the like Chip and Joanna Gaines, that they do the settings for your
You talking about
place.
decorators?
Um,
Decorators?
yes, like decorators that they'll do yeah, that they do the settings for you. And I'm not understanding why she didn't have one of those. Just go ahead and unpack and do the decorating for her and have all the setting up. I just don't understand why she didn't have that. And she already had company, and it just seemed on it just seemed like a mess and rushed, and she was trying to get her husband out of the way. So Nneka just seems out of place for me right now, but and we'll get into her later. But
Miss
yeah, it
Ashley,
just
but did
Potomac
you
is giving me
notice
nothing right.
nothing? But did you notice that the realtor's lock was still on her door? Did you notice that?
Yes, yes,
I
I
think that
did.
was weird.
Yes,
I
I
was like,
did.
what is that about? That didn't make sense to me. It was almost like it was a fake, phony, fraudulent scene.
And what when the whole thing with Sharice saying, "Oh, I lived up the street." No, Sharice, I thought you said a few seasons ago, was it? I think it was last season, that she lived in Baltimore. And Baltimore is not where Nneka just bought this home. It's outside of where she lived. So I'm confused where she said I just live up the street, unless she just moved. But I'm not sure. I was just so confused with what's going on. She just seems out of place. But and we'll get into her a little bit later, but she's not.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling Nneka right now.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
Emmanuel
Potomac's
was
giving me
saying,
nothing.
yeah, Emmanuel saying she owns her house, but it's 20854. It may be 20854, but I'm telling y'all, go back to that scene when Sharice came in that house. She opened the
The
door.
box.
The lock
Mhm.
box that the realtors use when they're showing you your house was on the doorknob. I've never seen anybody get the key to their house and the realtor's lock box is still on there. Like ever. I'm coming for you, Dustin. Give me a minute. SD Mac, thank you so much for the super chat. Love the real couples. Gizelle is lying that she thought Nneka fit in. Nneka knows her place. That's all. They are still trying to make Sharice a thing. Shaking my head. Time for a reboot. It's time for something. It's giving. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I want y'all to go back. Hey, Dustin. Hey. I want y'all to go back and look at that scene, and I promise you, the realtor's lock is on the doorknob. Come on now, Special K. That's the first thing they remove in the closing, and they give you your keys. I'm gonna try to cue
Give
up
you
this.
your key.
I'm gonna try to cue up this scene so y'all can see what I was talking about. I sat up and said, "What the heck is going on here?" Yeah, it's the padlock that has the code that, come on now, that access the keys for viewing. Yes, it is. It was on there. The real question is, why wasn't Nneka helping her husband look for his ID badge? What type of wife moves like that? Nneka, and then want to joke about, oh, go make our money. She had nothing else to do and talk about. And I feel like they allowed them in that house to film that scene for that moment because it didn't make sense to me either. Why are you inviting people over and you're not even fully in there yet and you got boxes everywhere? Who wants to do that? Katrina, you're up. And I did thank you, in my opinion, for helping me find the website. But Katrina, you're up.
The thing I liked was Karen and Ray. That was cool. I liked Eddie and Wendy until they showed Sesame Street. I had to jump back off my screen for that. Um, the thing with Eddie selling weed or whatsoever, make your money, Eddie. I see that. That's what I told y'all last week. Eddie was a business-minded man in that relationship. The thing with Nneka, looking like she's still wearing that Michael Myers mask. She going from place to place. She bringing Gizelle there. Gizelle was there because she don't like Wendy, so that was her counterpart. And Sharice don't like Karen, so they getting together. And then Nneka saying she loves Sharice or whatsoever, but we know Sharice licked a kitty or two. So who say that she ain't licking Nneka? It's just okay. Just anyway, she need to find some business. Ashley and Gizelle doing athletic wear. Who gonna wear it? The nursing home and kindergarten. So, cause I don't
That's
do
it.
that.
You ain't gotta keep looking. That's it. That's all they got.
Good, like I said, who gonna wear that? The nursing home people and kindergartners. Cause who else gonna wear that mess? And like you said, J Lo got the body for that, and so do Sharice. I'm not Sharice, but Sheree. That what she should have just stuck with was athletic wear, cause she got a body out of this world. But anyway, I digress. That's all I got to say. And I'm eating sushi, y'all, so don't worry about the thing in my mouth now. But that's what happened. But yeah, that's it.
All right, Lisa, you're up. Lisa, you're in the building. Can you hear me?
How you doing?
I'm good. How
Can
are
you?
you? Yes, I
I'm
can
doing
hear you.
good, everybody. Yes, Chad. I'm gonna tell you something. A girl, this clothing line gonna be like she by Shui. It ain't gonna do so good because they gonna have it overpriced, and they think they so good, baby. Y'all cannot dress. Okay, so what would y'all have a clothing line for? Athletic line for? Man, one of them do not know how to dress. Okay.
Not near one of them.
Not man, one of them don't know how to dress, so I don't know why they got a clothing line. Athletic line, and it's getting up, Chad. It's getting on my last nerves. I'm like you, like putting teeth now, but I still love me some Cam, and I don't know why. To my thing of I did because I asked that on the Gore show. Why is I don't think she owned that house because last time we were figuring out she was building that house. She said she was building her house. And she looking for. She said the house is not ready yet. So I know house got ready that soon. And I'm like, and I really do believe that's a rental house they in, where they talking about Karen house being rented.
Did
Okay.
they though? Did they though? Didn't they shade Karen to the
Yes,
bone?
they kind of shade Karen, but I'm gonna tell you like this. Where I know it was agreement her to buy a house. I mean, because she was living in Falls or somewhere, but not. I thought she is this the same house they talking about the new house in Potomac, right?
Uh-huh. Because she said
Yes, but I thought
08 whatever,
I thought her way was gonna buy that house. But any kind of way, at least she got a roof over her head. She can fucking roof over her head, okay?
uh-huh.
Because for me, I mean, I just don't. I'm sorry. To me, if I was Wendy, I would go to the executives at Bravo. See, this the third year they done came up about talking about her family, and I would go to the executive. Look, y'all ain't gonna keep on talking about my family. This the third year. So my thing of this, we need to go sit down somewhere. That athletic girl ain't gonna do nothing. And I don't know why Robyn and Mika's meeting together because, honey, I'm gonna tell you that I told y'all, like I told y'all last year, and when she first came on the show, you don't need to worry about nobody because you need to worry about Mill. Don't need to worry about nobody. She needs to worry about if she gonna get a settlement after divorce.
Mm.
Why you ought to worry about what Ron doing? You need to worry about what Ron do. You need to worry about what Gordon doing. Cause I told y'all already, and I not tell you. I said she gonna be the ex-wife, and he gonna be working on wife number 6. I knew that maybe ain't gonna last long soon. She got on that show. I knew it wasn't. I just knew it wasn't. I'm sorry. I knew it wasn't gonna last. And then I told everybody, baby, when she got on that show, she be looking for wife number 6.
Mm.
She's the gold digger. She's the gold digger.
Mm.
That's how I see it, and I'm just really I'm like everybody else. Robyn Giselle about to get on my last nerves. I mean, y'all keep on saying that Giselle keep on saying she didn't do nothing. Look back what you said. You came after these girls' marriages. You and Robyn sit right there, and I believe that was, and I do believe Ken was in the right when she told her. Yeah, I do believe you was plotting right along with her, talking about my husband because you weren't telling everything about your husband. Nick. You didn't tell about your husband going to the like Candace told Andy on what's happening live. What about but when the coaches start watching the uniforms? That's assistant. When the coaches start watching the players' uniforms, that's something that's to that. It's something that's to that. And Karen, my favorite. I ain't got no problem with Karen. I really don't. I think she kind of save face and then they go nowhere. So Nneka need to go sit her and her husband need to go sit down somewhere and do something else.
Thank you, Lisa. E, you're up.
I have a lot to say. Hey everyone. I'll start with this. The Osephos waking up Carter for his 10th birthday. That was cute enough. But I quickly thought it was a horror show after 10 seconds the camera switched from Carter's bedroom and we were outside of Giselle's monstrous construction. I tell you, I cannot believe that not one of Giselle's neighbors have gone down to the city and filed a complaint about this. Her property brings down the value of the entire neighborhood. It has to. It's an eyesore. As soon as it like flashed on the screen, Diva, she needs to straighten that up. Her property looks a goddamn mess. I mean, do you disagree? It's frightening.
You said frightening.
I've never seen anything like that. I mean, but on the bright side, I guess I'll be, you know, on the train or car by myself. Gizelle and Ashley starting this leisure and athletic line is genius to me. I mean, All of the women who support Gizelle and Ashley, who dress just like them and look like them, oh, for sure. I can definitely see them buying GNA and doing yoga, for sure. Um, Listen, the scene also solidified for me that Robyn and Gizelle don't talk as much as they used to. The
Mhm.
alliances have shifted. And have you noticed Mia and Robyn have filmed more scenes together this last couple of episodes than ever before? And Gizelle is primarily filming with Nneka and Ashley. There was a time when Gizelle and Robyn filmed a duo scene every episode. Remember that? Plus, I think that Gizelle has to focus her attention on other things because we all know Eminem is not letting up on that lawsuit for that reasonably shady title for that podcast.
It's
And I
not.
think Giselle also doesn't want any smoke with Andy about this gossiping behind the paywall because it conflicts with the show. So,
Mhm.
ding, ding, ding. How can I generate revenue? Keep content going for a storyline for the show and not piss off the big wigs who signed the Bravo checks. I think GNA is brilliant. And I think I've heard some people earlier say, it's basic fashions.
Mhm.
But to be honest, basic sells. It's more regular women in this world, in this world who dress like Gizelle and Ashley than they do Karen and Wendy. I'm not going to see lots of women walking down the street overdressed like Wendy every day, but I'm damn for sure going to see women walking down the street looking like Ashley and Gizelle for sure. And we know that basic sales. Look at the podcast and how successful they were with that. Look at Robyn's hats. We have to remember that Gizelle and Ashley, these are light skinned women with basic personalities and a low level stroke of common sense. The brand is to advertise to other basic women with basic personalities and a minuscule touch of common sense. The idea has potential. It really does. Uh, the date night with Wendy and Eddie. Like I said, Wendy is always overdressed. Eddie always looks cool and casual. I can appreciate that, but Wendy was cute. I'll give her that. My attitude, though, came when Eddie mentioned the legalization of marijuana in Maryland. Me personally, I hate it. It stinks. I
Oh,
used to live in,
yeah. Ooh.
yeah, I used to live in Hanover. And whenever I left Arendelle, and I went towards the city, the smell would instantly change. Going onto the highway and then getting off and then going downtown. No, Baltimore stinks. And I wish they would reverse that law. It's gotten out of hand. And we always say, what about the kids? Well, the weed is in the air and the kids are high. So knock it off. And before I move on to the last scene, I caught Wendy in another lie. I'm not sure if y'all caught it, but in Wendy's solo confessional, Wendy said, I don't know how I'm going to tell my grandkids that their grandfather loved, quote unquote, the devil's lettuce. And so here we go again with these spiritual nuances. Because then in her couple's confessional, Eddie said they both indulge. So Wendy has been smoking the devil's lettuce too. So why would you tell your grandkids about Eddie but leave your part out? Wendy, hush. Because I'm going to get on her just a little bit later. This last scene, though, that you talked about with Karen and her Aunt Val, that was cute to me. And
It
when I
was.
was looking at them, they have similar facial structures,
Yes, they
and
do.
their personality and humor favors a lot. I can definitely tell they are related. And I also have to commend Karen for acknowledging her legacy, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and
Mhm.
how remarkable it is to now own the land your ancestors were forced into laboring on. I think Karen is changing the narrative literally. And when Karen said, I know who I am and whose I am, that was deep to me. And I think the conversation of how our familial lines have been impacted by slavery does not get enough topic time. In my family, we are only 4 generations removed, just 4. And it really wasn't that long ago that our great, great, great greats were given these European surnames and taught this revised version of Eddie Long and Jamal Bryant's Christianity and told the closer we are to white skin, a narrow nose, and 0% body fat, then the more beautiful we are. I want to hear more of our chosen celebrities speak up about the impact of slavery and how we are connected to it. And I think that that is important for Generation Z and Generation Alpha so that they are not confused about the intentional segregation and stripping away of our natural identities that we all come from as Black, Brown, and Indigenous people. I'm so I'm loving Karen. I think this is a brilliant idea, and I love the history.
I absolutely love it too, E. And I love when she got emotional about it. It's just Karen, whatever you want to say about her, she's definitely there's some. I think you could probably look at every show and say somebody on that show was built for this. Phaedra, love or hate her, built for reality TV. She know how to do that TV thing, okay? Karen, the Grande Dame, built for reality TV. So perfectly built. Oh, thank you, Get Fit and signing out. Thank you so much for the super chat. She said, side note, Diva, your book club setup was fire. I love you, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah, she's definitely built for, reality TV. And if it wasn't for Karen, I probably would tap out. Because I'm sick of Gizelle and this narrative as a grown woman she just can't forgive. I'm sick of her trying to act like, people single-handedly, tried to do something to her. She talked about this man, the girl's husband, and tried to insinuate like he wanted to do something with her. Gizelle, go sit down. SD Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. Better to have legal, what is this, dispensaries than street weed that has been what is that, serrated and stamped on. Love Karen's family story. Yes, I do. Yeah, it is better to have the dispensaries, but I'm just sick of it because now that it's legal, especially when I go to New York, I get secondhand high.
Yeah, we don't care that other people are smoking, but we need some limitations about the air quality for other people. Can you imagine what people who live in apartments have to deal with when people get those loud packs and it's going through the walls? Diva, that's ridiculous.
It's insane. It's insane. And I'm not happy with none of them not forgiving any one of them. I spoke about that. I think that, this whole Wendy and Nneka thing too is enough is enough. Dustin, you're up. And Ray is here for all the Karen and her shenanigans. He better go ahead. Dustin, are you there? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think it's very sad. The whole situation is very sad about what we're talking about. What you just said is very sad, and I think they need to make some improvements in not only New York but around the country. So it's just very sad to me how things will really change. So that's what I was going to say to that.
Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate you. So we can go ahead and move right on. I'm trying to cue up this scene. Charisse, she's out of place too. She was at Nneka house, just out of place. But you know what? I know she needed check, so if they gotta squeeze her in, a scene or two here and there, let her get squeezed in. But you know what? As long as her and Karen were friends in real life, and my thing is, for you to destroy a real life relationship over some TV, you have got to be crazy. Because at the end of the day, that TV is not going to be there for you when you need them. Your real friends are going to be there for you. So Charisse is going to have problem because the Grande Dame is the Grande Dame, and Karen ain't never inviting Charisse anywhere, and I would neither. So the last scene, they all going to Surry with Karen. I thought that scene was really nice. So, Karen, she knows how to do the darn thing. She ended up inviting everyone, and Gizelle was the first one to say no. She was like, I'm good. And then what pissed me off about Gizelle is when she came back and said she will never, ever pretty much go anywhere where Wendy and Candace is. Well, I know her, I own and understand her problem with Candace, but what is her problem with Wendy? That's so deep, right? So, and then what's the name? Robyn said she couldn't go because it was too late of a notice and she's going to hang out with her kids. Mia said she was going to go because she doesn't like, secondhand late invites, but that she's full of it too. And so it ended up being Karen, Ashley, Candace, Wendy, and Nneka. Nneka, you know what? Glad she went, but that ride was rough. And I thought it was nice of Nneka, this, invite Wendy to the unpacking party, but Wendy said there's steps to this thing, and you can't skip the steps. And Wendy always tried to have these moments, because when she was sitting at the table when they was all eating, she tried to have this moment. And I think every time she tries to force a moment, to me it falls flat. But that's just me. In my opinion, you're up.
Okay, Diva. I'm glad we got to this scene. Okay.
Okay.
So now I have it queued up if I need to play it, but listen here, I'm Team Wendy because Nneka showed her hands. Okay. When we got to this table in Surry County, we was getting our food and everything, and Ashley was egging this conversation on, as she always does, the instigator of it. Okay, Wendy said, you came after my mama. You called her a witch. You called me a bee. You went after my husband. Your husband tried to fight my husband. You came after my sister. She just told her. You know what I'm saying? And Nneka still piped up and said, well, you called me a bee. So bravo, being the great content creators they are. Roll that beautiful bean footage. And what do you know? Nneka said the cuss word first. And then Wendy cussed right back at her. And then she called Wendy a bee. You know what? You can't do something and then say, oh, well, because you did this, I'm gonna disrespect you and call you a female dog. No, we're not doing that. Okay. And then here's the thing. Nneka was even trying to be shady toward Karen. Okay. Man, I already got you. Peeped your game a long time ago. And then I thought, Nneka, while you were sitting there with Sharice and Gizelle, you was like, I don't know if I can clear my schedule to go, but it looked like you cleared your schedule to go. That's because you want to be on this TV. And Diva, if you check your email, I sent you an email of her old house, but she ain't really that rich because she was living in a $5,000 square foot house that she just sold in Pasadena, California, before she moved there. And they said she had to refinance the house 3 times.
I appreciate you, in my opinion. Now, just y'all tell me what house you buy, and they still have the realtor's lock on there. Do y'all see that? What house do you buy, and they still have the realtor's lock on there? Y'all
They
can't.
was winning. They winning that house. They ain't buying that house. They winning that house for that scene, honey. Come on now.
That's
Ain't
how
no.
I feel. You got to make this make sense.
That's right.
When she opened that door and I saw that, I said, hold on now. Hold on now. Okay. The realtor's padlock on there. It doesn't make sense to me. All right. Because when you buy your house and you close, you get the keys, and that is no longer on the door. Because that's what it looks like to me. But if it's something different, y'all let me know. Okay. Come on. Handy B said Airbnb. It's not
And who's so rich that they have to refinance their house 3 times?
Child, listen, Savannah, you're up.
I told you the scene just did not sit well with me. Just, when you're going into a new home, you're excited, you're setting things up, you're putting in things in their place. You just seem all disarray and out of order, and she just didn't seem interested, not even in helping her husband get on his way to work. And she just didn't sit well. With Gizelle and getting the text messages. I don't know if it's Gizelle or production playing in our faces and allowing for her to back out of the trip and to say that she didn't feel safe against the two women that have been on the show. So I'm not understanding how Gizelle can sit there and say, and I get with Candace, but with Wendy, and they allow that to. And although I like the group of women that went to do the event with Karen, I'm glad it was this group of women. Although Nneka was a follower, she seemed like a follower, but I'm glad she went. Um, but I hate that they allow Giselle to pick and choose what she can and cannot, and she is bringing the show down and making it hard to continue to be a viewer and a supporter of this show. Um, I'm glad that Robyn and Mia were not a part of it as well, because they would have ruined it for Karen. And I love that her having this family event was it just beautifies. And Karen is the show for me, and is what makes me tune in every Sunday night, because she um, is TV gold. Um, Sharice, I still don't understand why you're there. I really don't. And Nneka, I'm trying to like you. I really, really am. But I just think you're fake. I hate that two beautiful, educated women cannot find a common ground to put this stupid, petty argument aside. Of, you talked about my mama. It all seems so high school, childish playground BS. Um, and I just think it's a conversation, a simple pull to the side. Hey, girl, because if they would learn to team up, they can really run this show and make it what it was supposed to be about, because they are Potomac. They really, really are can run Potomac and make it a great show. But instead, they want to be liked by Giselle and Robyn, and they do not realize that they will never be in their good graces, and that's what brings the show down. So, and it's
All the way to the
unfortunate.
gutter. All the way to the gutter. SD Mac, thank you so much for the super chat. Nneka is playing spy for the ops. Wendy's right not to trust her. Nneka is giving cap on her whole life, in my opinion. SD Mac, I'm with you there. So Juice Radio is saying that sometimes they don't take the box off till later. I guess that might be because everything I know about Jersey, the box comes off because there's keys in the box. So why would the box need to stay there once the keys are out of that box so you can give it to the new homeowner at the closing? I've never seen it, but okay, if y'all in real estate and y'all say it has been done, I've never in my life, out of all of my friends' closings that I've been to, and even with myself, I never seen the box on it from the realtor to stay once I'm in my home. I never personally seen it, but I will accept that if y'all saying this so. But it gave me suspect. My spideys went up. I sat up in my bed and said, hold up, wait a minute. Why is this lock box still on her home? And personally, if my home wasn't ready for them to show, I would think about all these little details. I'd be like, no, we ain't filming in my home until it's ready and this lock box is off, because I'm not about to get played out in these streets. Okay. Yeah, so I just personally never seen it in Jersey. But if y'all say it is so, it is so. And y'all reminded me that this was a house that was already existing and she went and renovated it, because I also never seen them on the new construction. But I'm talking Jersey, right? All right, so I thank y'all, appreciate y'all for that. Katrina, you up?
Like I said, what is okay, Giselle whole motivation. You saying that you don't want to be around Wendy and Candace because you've been getting death threats. Okay, look how many death threats Candace have received. And she still, and then the thing with Candace, I wouldn't even want to talk to her or anything like, but I think Candace would talk to Giselle. It's Giselle. And Candace did not come out for anybody in your life. You came out for somebody in her life. You put out that lie. And then you tried to get Stewie to back it up with her Sesame Street friend. You lied on that girl when you said that when you sat at the table and said Stewie said that he touched the lady's thigh. You lied about that. You was a big liar. you with Nneka, and like D-Mac said, she probably did send Nneka up there to go spy whatsoever. And that's what they I got to give to Wendy, even though she don't like being around Nneka. With her and Nneka got these things going on, but she still films with Nneka. It's not like Gizelle, where she can say, well, I don't want to spend with you because I don't like you. And then she flat out and told Wendy she didn't like her. So she didn't care if Wendy was getting lied on or anything, because that's what she said, what was it, 2 seasons ago? No, last season at the reunion. So miss me with that, Gizelle. And another thing, to go back to Robert and Juan, I know we passed that, but go back to that, when she said that she didn't want to go to counseling. What you going to counseling for? The man can't stand you. What, you want to go to the counselor so he let you know that he can't stand you? Why you gonna pay good money for that? The man don't like you, lady. Get it together. The thing with Karen and going on the trip, that was sweet. That was nice. Like you said, Karen does have a backbone, and whatever they say about her, she always rises to the top. Gizelle was talking about her makeup, about her perfume, her this, her that, her wigs. Karen still rises to the top. And I really wish that they would get it together. Cause like I said, I don't trust Ashley. She probably was there spying too. I would never trust that little girl. But the thing of it is, I just hope I just hope them get it. I hope they get it together, because like what you call it said before, if they get it together, that show would be great. But you letting 2 or 3 people stop the show from being what it could be. Because the show could be a good show. It was a good show at first, but they keep coming with this colorism, and I don't want to be your friend. I ain't playing with you today because your mama didn't give me no cookies. That don't make no sense. Be grown women. They act like they on the kindergarten playground. That's what they act like. They act like they on the kindergarten playground. Grow the hell up. I
Yeah.
mean, Karen, she trying to hold the show in the road. She's trying, but she ain't got no backup, because the rest of them is a mess.
Mm.
I mean, when they there, Candace, she there, they got their problems and stuff too. And Nneka looking like she wearing a Michael Myers. Now, I can't say Michael Myers no more, because my friend Bianca said that she loved Michael Myers, so now I got to give Nneka the Texas Chainsaw Massacre mask. But like I said,
Well,
if they,
I don't really like to talk about their
I
looks.
know.
I mean, I don't really like to do that. But I just think Nneka came through the door wrong.
Yes, and that's the thing. She does. She did. She really did. She came to the door trying to keep up controversy after Ashley laid the seed. So that was the seed they had planted already. They talked before the season happened. So that was the seed. So Ashley would bring the seed in to make it look like, to bring up the subject. And so that's when Nneka followed behind. But like I said, hopefully they'll get it together. That's it, y'all.
I hope so too. Lawson, you are correct with this. Gizelle actually said because she didn't like Wendy, she didn't care that she was assaulted. I mean, in the gutter, somebody said the show is on life support. You never lied. This show is on life support. I'm trying to hang in there, but I'm hanging by a thread. Lisa, you're up.
I'm here, girl. I'm here. Okay. Like I said before, Milka, I don't believe that. I don't believe that's her house. Like when you show the doorknob, I believe that house is rented to do that scene. Because when she showed the house inside she said, we getting a house built. Ain't nobody building no house that fast. She said the house is really being built and we got to buy furniture for the house. So I do believe that house is rented, just like you said, like you throw that box. When you showed that box, I said, nah. I said that house is being rented for that scene. Okay. And for me, like everybody else said, like the last caller that said, I really do believe Cam gonna rise to the top. She always rises to the top, baby doll. I don't care what they say about it. She gonna rise, and she carrying the back to show on her back. And they're gonna have to do something, Diva. Because see, when you come with all these lies, you keep on telling lies after lies after lies. and it's the same people telling the lies. Some gonna have to give because then you losing then you losing viewership. Don't nobody want to listen to no lies every constant week with Gizelle. You constantly telling these lies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't blame Wendy. Y'all people say Wendy to forgive people. I think Wendy would have forgave her. But then you bring in my mom, then your husband kind of jumping my husband's face by some dumb Facebook page. Really? Eddie said, I ain't got no problem with you, man. I just met you. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a childish, like I said, Wendy, if it keep on happening, I think Wendy should go to the executives at Bravo say, this can't happen no more. Time in my family. This the third season, and it all started when she talking about well, you changed, you ain't got no oomph to back yourself. Talking about the one talking about he had a mistress. And Wendy said, oh, this you talking about? You could have told me that in private. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand everything what Wendy is. Let me tell you too. I really don't give a crap about Gizelle. She can really go. Because she lying. You hear me, Dee? She lying. She keeps lying every year. And see, you know the reason why her and Robyn ain't too cool. But I'm gonna tell you something. See, Juan and I already told Robyn. You heard her this year. You heard Gizelle say this year. Juan got in her face, and he was loud with to let you know I see you for what you really are. I see for what you really are. Last year she sit there and she told those people that Juan's name wasn't on their house. Baby, that ain't none of your business to tell, number one. Because you ain't number one, she'll never tell about herself. Gizelle never talks about herself. You know how many she could have talked about that she could have talked about what was going on with her when she had the what's it called, thyroid surgery with the something with her vagina. What they call it?
She had a
The
hysterectomy.
hysterectomy. Yeah, she could have talked about that because there's a lot of women going through that. You hear me? There's a lot of she could have talked about that last year, but you didn't talk about that last year. You talked about Candace's husband see you into a room, and I'm like, Robyn, you act like because Robyn did point it out. Now Robyn did point it out to her. Now Robyn did point it in her face. He didn't do nothing wrong to you. He said he didn't want to have a talk with you, and I'm gonna tell you, you know when all that happened, y'all, when he sit there. I knew he made that mistake when he sit there on TV. He said, "Who one of your friends you would like to have a relationship with? Who he think is very attractive?" And he said, "Who?" He said, Gizelle. And I knew he made a mistake then when he said that out loud on that show. Do you not remember that, Diva?
I do remember it.
That's when that stuff came up. And I knew, and I just knew in the back of my head, I said, watch that girl gonna come up against him. And some kind of way, I just knew she was gonna play that against him. And now it's played against him, and I'm not for her no more because she just a liar. And I don't know why it's me. I keep telling everybody, I'm telling y'all this about Robyn and one relationship. And I keep telling people this. Juan and Robyn been together since high school. Robyn is in love with Juan. She don't care what nobody does. She's one of them people. She been in love with him for 30 some odd years. I think they've been, I think, got like, I say 30 or 20 some odd years since they've been in high school. And I don't think she ever been with another man. We definitely know he been with other women, but I don't think she been with other men, Diva. And I just don't. I believe if they really broke up, I really do believe she would have a meltdown. She would have a totally meltdown because she's in love with him. She truly is in love with Ron Dixon. and how much she don't care. She's one of those women who do not care what nobody say about her man. You remember Ashley was sitting up there telling her, and she was asking, "You got something to say about me and Juan?" She said, "Yeah, but it's going out there." Ashley eating on her food, talking about, "Yeah, he out here cheating on you." She didn't care. She didn't care to hear about that stuff. Because I tell you, people, when you been in love that long with that same person, you just be in love. You hear me? She's in love with him. She's in
Somebody
love with
said
Diva.
it, Dawson said it perfectly. Robyn and Juan are uncomfortably comfortable, if that makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
And they probably uncomfortable. I think Juan is uncomfortable doing being on TV. He really don't want to be on TV, but he knows that's the paycheck to come in because right now she the breadwinner because he don't have a job. And I,
Mm.
and I understand that. Like I said, it was a nice trip to go to. I like seeing Karen her home, her sexual home, because I did watch the reality TV show, the little mini show with Sean Ray and Raven did with the family, and the
Mhm.
family was the mom was talking about, well, then I'm not gonna sell the land, I'm not gonna give up my land right now. I think it was Auntie Val was saying her and her kids.
Mhm.
Her kids had a problem. Her kids had a problem. Mom, what is the outcome of it? But it was nice. I like seeing stuff like that. People take over their ancestral land and just kind of keep it in the family. I love seeing it, but them girls right there, child, I'm like y'all. They need to be rebooted, and something need to happen because I'm tired of it now. I'm love me some Karen and Randy. I mean Wendy, but I don't blame Whitney when it comes to Nneka because, child, you doing too much. You coming in the wrong way because you fighting up behind Ashley. Ashley don't want to be talked about no more because she got stuff going on. She ain't trying to divorce Michael because she scared Michael gonna send her and her two boys who living on that bridge on that tent with her mom and her boyfriend, her mom and her husband.
Mhm. All right. Thank you, Lisa. E,
Yeah.
you're up.
I got to go, Diva. But I
Okay.
do love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and I love you. Okay, Doll. I did want to come up and see you though.
I'm glad you did. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right, E.
Well, Karen being shocked that Gizelle wouldn't show up to the guest house in Surry County, that
Mhm.
confused me. I told y'all last week the scene with Karen and Gizelle that they filmed with their daughters last week was strategic on Giselle's part because Gizelle wanted to perpetuate her anti-colorism and victim storyline, and it's working. Okay, she's
Mhm.
standing 10 toes down. I'm not going anywhere near
Gotcha.
Candace or Wendy because I have been receiving threats against my life and
Got-
my children have. So all of this is strategic. They Giselle brought Grace on the screen and wasted Karen's and Raven's complete time. So when Karen said, I thought we were in a good place, I'm looking at Karen with the look of incredulity. Because Karen, you're supposed to know better. Giselle has no genuine love for Karen. Everybody knows Giselle only tolerates Karen because Karen is just as much an anchor on this show as Giselle. Even though Giselle is Andy's favorite, there is no Housewives of Potomac without Karen, right? So,
Mhm.
in my mind, Giselle has been waiting to throw Karen under the bus. And if you ask me, Giselle is pumping up Nneka to go at Karen and Mia because I saw the previews for next week, and we'll see how this goes. Because, like someone else said, everybody who's gone up against the Grande Dame, they have fallen. Okay, nobody has been able to take her down yet.
Right.
Let's get to this group text. I don't know about anybody else, but Robyn and Mia can't spell. They must have the autocorrect disabled on their text messaging. When Robyn replied to Karen's text and said that she would be spending the day with her kids and nephew tomorrow, she spelled tomorrow with one R, not two. So I thought I was seeing things, and I had to go back and hit pause to make sure. Because I was like, "What's that spell?" Because it threw me off. Diva, you know what I do. And then when Mia replied, whining about how she couldn't get past not being included on the first invite, is spelled past like PAST rather than PASS. I said, well, Lord, Mia, you need to download Grammarly to your phone. It is a pet peeve of mine when people have poor grammar and poor spelling. You're too rich for this. But I also noticed in that group thread, Wendy was throwing shots at Wendy and Nneka very subtly. Okay. Wendy loves hazing people, but hates when it's done to her. It was unnecessary to insert in her reply, I planned on attending when I received the original invite.
Yep.
Translation, I got an invite when you two didn't. Wendy knew that was a soft jab at Nneka and Robyn. And for me, it was premature because Wendy gets one invite somewhere and acts like she's Whitley Gilbert, and all of a sudden it's a different world. Girl, bye. Wendy's antics diminish her argument, because I've heard people say, well, Wendy needs to go down to NBC Universal. For what? You cannot go down to NBC Universal and claim you're being iced out because certain girls who are mad at you won't invite you out somewhere, but then reject the invitations of other women because you are mad at them. If it is good for you, it's good for Robyn and Gizelle. See how easy that is?
Come on now. You better tell the truth. You better tell the truth.
And when people say Nneka came on wrong, so did Wendy. Because what I never liked Wendy ever since that moment when she turned and pointed at Ashley and said, people like you call me Dr. Wendy. I don't want to hear that. So if anything, Wendy should have some compassion because she know what it's like to be in front of the cameras for the first time and get a little bit of camera courage. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Let's get to this Uber so we can wrap it up because we're getting out of here early tonight. In the Uber to Surry County, Nneka invited Wendy to her unboxing party, and Wendy declined. Wendy has every right to do that. But just last year, wasn't Wendy crying about her and her kids not being invited to Robyn's Olympic Day? This is what I'm talking about. This season, you've been invited to Ashley's house, Karen's Surry County guest house, and now Nneka's house. To me, if you're being iced out as you claim, because this was the argument, you don't have the luxury to decline any invitations anywhere. You need all the camera time you can get. You just missed the Mother's Day brunch last week. You need the camera time so much you started a YouTube channel. Stop dragging this out every week because I'm sick of it between Nneka and Wendy. And I also find it interesting that Wendy spent the better half of this season talking about faith and what religion means to her. Yeah, she's holding on to a grudge like R. Kelly holding on to his camcorder. Yeah, at 2 a.m. Your spiritual teachings tell you to turn the other cheek. Diva, you mentioned it earlier. It's 77 times. Forgive. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So, like, when Wendy, if your biggest gripe is that your mother was called a witch after she claimed your mother submitted their names to a shrine, get over that. Because Wendy lied and said Nneka talked about Wendy's sister. We never heard that. And Bravo didn't roll it back. And Nneka corrected her. I never said anything about your sister. Then Wendy said, your husband tried to fight my husband. Well, honey, that's between the men. Let the men handle that stuff because they have their own issues from Facebook, right? And let's stay on topic. Wendy said, you called me a B. Nneka said, I called you a B and I admitted to it. Ain't no extra steps to it. Let's move forward. Wendy has called people B's too. So when they were at that last dinner, this is my last thing. And Wendy said to Nneka, I have no desire to have a conversation with someone whose existence is inconsequential to my happiness. Honey, Wendy thought she ate that. But the gag is that's the same thing that Gizelle is saying about you in her confession.
That's the gag.
I'm not having anything to do with Wendy or Candace. Okay? So I don't know how Wendy thinks this is going to play out. Maybe she'll have a different tune at the reunion, but this is why you're not invited to everything. This is why the people don't call you during the off season. This is why you're complaining about being iced out. Wendy wants someone to kiss her booty the same way she's kissing Gizelle and Robyn's, and Nneka's not puckering up for it. Wendy, you got to get over yourself.
You better tell the truth and shame the devil. See, here's the other part too, right? I don't get how you think you're going to throw smoke on the ground for everybody else, but then you want to cry victim, so to speak, when the smoke come your way. She said it was laughable in that car when Ashley said that her and Gizelle were going to have a clothing line. Did you hear her say that in the car? So it's like, I don't understand how you feel it's okay to constantly drag others, but then when somebody come for you, it's like they're wrong. She said it's laughable, those two having a clothing line, and she said pretty much they dress horrible. That's what she said.
Well, Wendy looked like she dressing to go to P Valley.
Listen, it's messy.
Down in the
The
valley,
only
baby.
difference is Wendy didn't lie, and this girl is lying on her mama.
I will say this. When Mama had the opportunity to sit down with Wendy and clear the truth, she didn't really do that. In my opinion. When they had the scene with Wendy's mom and Wendy mom didn't clear the truth. Also, Wendy plays with the truth because she tried to act one way about her mother being in the hospital when they was away on vacation. But then when we got back and Mama said the truth, well, I had a procedure, this, that, and that, and it was complications of the procedure. She knew her mother had that procedure and she knew it was a complication. And I'm 10 toes down on that. And that's why she did not rush to go back home. But again, that's just my thoughts on it. Emmanuel, you're in the building.
Okay. I think Wendy needs to stop. She's getting on my nerves. She's constantly antagonizing people and stirring the pot. For example, when they sat down at the table, and then out of nowhere she says, "Well, thanks, Karen, because I was your first pick." Why would you say that? Because you're messy. Then let's talk about this. Oh, she's skipping steps. What does that even mean? Okay, the Wendy way is not the only way. Her inviting you to her party was a step. It was an olive branch. And Wendy is hypocritical. If we want to talk about steps, then let's go back to last season when Wendy tried to go up to Gizelle and hug her as if everything was fine. And Gizelle was like, I haven't even talked to you or anything after the reunion. Get away from me. Now, whether or not, I'm not saying I agree with Gizelle, but Wendy did the same thing. So it is clear that Wendy is jealous. That that last night's episode confirmed that to me. She is jealous that Nneka lives in the 20854. And I don't know what it is, but what's her name? Wendy looked extremely petty talking about what she was talking about. It's ridiculous.
Well, Emmanuel, if I talked about your mama and then I just said, "Oh, Emmanuel, come to my house," you wouldn't want an invitation. You'd be like, "No, we need to have a conversation."
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
that's true.
We are not going to skip those.
That's true opinion. But here's the thing.
And let me tell you something. So we went back to last season. Let's go back to last season. So when Wendy got a drink thrown on her and hit with a purse, and they sat there and recorded it and said, you was antagonized her. Oh, so that was right too, right?
No. In my opinion, we're not saying this right, but it's funny.
No, but I'm just saying.
Hold on, I'm glad you brought that up. In my opinion, hold on, I'm glad you brought that up. But you see how easily she forgave Mia.
That part.
But Mia didn't say anything about her mom at that point in time.
But Diva,
she threw a drink in her face in the post.
I'm saying, but I mean,
Diva,
they talked it out.
No, wait, hold on, Diva. Let's go back.
Hold on, let me do this super chat. Hold on. SC Mac, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. There's a difference between light shade and talking about families. Okay, well, they talked about Wendy's family in the beginning. She still wants to be friends with Gizelle and Robyn. When this season first started, Wendy walked in the house. I forgot where they was, and she tried to walk up to Gizelle and hug her, and Gizelle gave her the cold shoulder.
Yep. She said no touching.
So she said, okay, she said no touching or whatever she said. So my thing is, she will forgive the Green Eye Bandits in 2.2 seconds, but everybody else, no. Mia threw a whole drink in her face and a purse at me. Yeah, I'm going to be mad if you talked about my mama, but I'm going to be even more mad if you threw a drink in my face and your purse at me. And now I could sit down at the table and talk about, but I could forgive Mia. So come on, girl, and let's go talk.
But Mia went to her.
That part.
Mia apologized, but Mia went to her and apologized. They talked it out. They talked it out when they was in Miami.
They talked about this at the
reunion. They went to the reunion. They did it when they was on the trip or whatsoever. Wendy went to Mia's room and they talked that out. That's the difference. Because Wendy went, they talked it out. But with Nneka, why would I come to your house knowing how you feel about me or knowing what you said about me? I'm not coming to your house. A dang sure ain't finna eat your food because ain't no telling what you put in it. But I'm just saying in general. If you ain't said all this stuff about my mom and this and that and whatever, you think I'm finna come to your house?
Well, honestly,
I'm not coming to your house.
I think that Nneka,
let's be clear. Who wants somebody in their house if you think they got a shrine of you when they wishing bad on you?
She said her
Would
mom.
You want that person in your house?
Her mom.
It don't matter. But she been coming out the window for it. So if you feel like my family is that detrimental that I will put up a shrine, wish bad on you, then I don't want you nowhere near me, because then you might go back and tell your mama about my house, and then that'll be something else.
Well, then that speaks highly.
The line can't keep moving for the rest of these people.
Well, then that speaks highly of Nneka. She's willing to forgive someone who did that to her. What an amazing woman she is.
And Nneka's trying to play the game that Wendy
stop.
No,
that part. That part.
You like that too?
That part.
Nneka's trying to play the game that Wendy couldn't play. She knows that she needs people to film with, even if she doesn't like them. That's something Wendy didn't grasp till later on. And Nneka's trying to learn that the first season. She's trying to let this go. This is the game of the Housewives. You call me out my name, I call you out your name. We apologize. We go on the cast trip, then we do the reunion. That's the format. What is Wendy doing?
And again, I think she was just trying to invite Wendy as an olive branch. But if she doesn't want to go, fine. She won't be missed. All the other cast is going to go anyway.
I'm trying to figure out what game, Nneka. I'm just trying to figure out what game.
Hold on one second. SC Mac, thank you for the super chat. She said Mia did apologize on Twitter after the incident aired. Listen, you threw a whole drink in my face on national TV, and y'all good because she actually used the words and said I'm sorry. You got Nneka that's going to invite her into her home, who didn't really come at her neck, and Nneka went on that trip knowing that really, she was almost really the odd man out, so to speak. And Karen tried to pull those two together, and Wendy still was with the shenanigans. Now, I'm not saying that Nneka is 100% innocent, but regardless of that, in that car, Wendy also shaded Ashley.
Yep.
Like, what do you want? And like, how do you expect to throw smoke out in the streets and think you're going to get nothing but kindness back? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the point on that.
Ashley just told her, she told Nneka that her family was Osu.
Ashley started all this mess.
But she's sitting next to Ashley and she's still talking to Ashley.
Yeah,
but Ashley ain't never said nothing about Wendy family. That's the difference. Ashley never said the stuff that Nneka came on saying.
Her bones, and she said she carried.
She asked her about it. She never said her mama did. Ashley never said Wendy mama did this or that. Ashley asked her about the Osu stuff, which is ridiculous. Why they even put that mess on TV in the first place? But I'm just saying, let
me interject, because Ashley's the one who brought Deborah on, and Ashley knew what Deborah was going to say about.
That's what I'm saying. You think I would ever trust anything for Ashley?
Well, you sitting right next to her in the car.
I gotta sit next to you in the car because we riding back. But what I'm saying is
the same way you declined.
Listen, all of them got some shady points. I'm not putting nobody above nobody. I'm just saying how I see it. It ain't all Wendy. It ain't all Candace. It ain't all Nneka. Well, I don't know about Nneka, but I'm just saying the thing of it is I see it a whole different way. Yes, Wendy got some bad points too. I'm not saying none. All of them got bad points. I'm not saying none of them is over the top of whatsoever. But what I'm saying, like you said, when she went to talk to Gizelle at that thing, Gizelle should have went to Wendy, but Wendy tried to bite the bullet and go to Gizelle because you something said that my husband was cheating. If it's not even true, you going by a blog. And you didn't just say it one time.
Okay,
You
but
said it
let me
again. You
let me
said it again when
respond
we went to
to.
Richmond. You said it again. Like I said, if they were supposed to be close friends and you supposed to be sorority sisters, instead of taking it to Ashley, why didn't you take it to Wendy yourself? You took it around the corner. You didn't come to her straight. You went to somebody else because you wanted to stir up trouble. Ashley just had a baby. I don't even think that she had stopped feeling labor pain. She couldn't get up there
Okay,
fast enough to start that mess and say that lady. Come on, I'm gonna say it because they be saying this about me. Gizelle told you to do that. Because like I said, if Gizelle was sincere, somebody she didn't believe it, then you should have brought it to Wendy and said, "Girl, let me tell you what's going on. What they saying about your husband in the blogs because you having surgery, so we thinking that you having surgery because your husband cheating with the Instagram models. So if you my sister, my sorority sister, the first thing you gonna do is say, look, we need to talk about this, girl. Let me tell you what they're saying about your husband. That's
Well,
how you should have handled it.
Katrina. Hold on, Katrina. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
I just want to respond to Lon. Somebody asked me why I think Wendy's
Lawson.
antagonistic. When you have had problems with Karen, Gizelle, Robyn, Ashley, Mia, Nneka, Monique, you got at some point look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, why am I getting into so many problems? Because it can't all be them. Not every single one of these 7 people that I just mentioned, there's something wrong with them, and there's nothing wrong with you.
Right. Come on now. Let me, SD Mac, thank you so much for the super chat. Ashley torn to Gizelle and Robyn the first 2 seasons. Now they're besties. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Robyn is mad at Wendy from, I think around either second or first season Wendy came, and she tore them down to shreds at that trip because they tried to come for Wendy's family. Tore them down to shreds, to the bone. She tore them down to the bone. And I think they are still mad at her from that. And they've been trying to get her back ever since. But let's be clear. Ashley brought her girlfriend and kept bringing her around to tear down Wendy's marriage. So let's be consistent here. If you're mad because somebody talked about your mama, I'm going to be just as equally as mad if somebody is trying to tear down my husband and his reputation and his good name, the father to my kids. And listen, if we want to go back, because she loved to stay on the religious thing, if we want to go back to the religion also tells you, and I got to paraphrase, girl, because I don't know it by heart, but the religion always tells you too, once you get married, you leave that mother and father. Your new household with your husband, that's what becomes number one. That girl brought that Deborah there to tear down Wendy's relationship because everybody that Gizelle and Robyn bring and support on that show, and they done drag Ashley into it, is to tear down Wendy and Candace. They're hoping that Wendy and Candace will break down and leave. And that's why Candace came and said, she's hoping my black behind won't be sitting here. But she said, I'm not going nowhere. But see, it's not just your mouthpiece that's going to help y'all not go anywhere. Y'all need to band together for the greater good. And that's why she should have caught Nneka before they did. Or even if they caught Nneka first, she should have came to Nneka and said, girl, let's do this, my African sister. But everybody wants to band with those 2. They got Sharice over there, and you see Sharice couldn't even get her peach back full time because she tried to come for the Grande Dame with this, you've been sleeping with other people behind raised back, and you see how it fell on the ground and it went nowhere. Gizelle and Robyn are into tearing down relationships. So how ironic is it that Robyn is in one of the worst relationships on that show? Because you constantly want to be in the business of tearing down somebody's relationship. I think she's kind of getting it now, though, and she's trying to fall back a little bit on that. But those are just my thoughts.
No, you
Anybody?
good, Diva. You good. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like I said, all of them got faults. All of them got faults. And like
Mhm.
you said, Nneka should have came to Wendy and came to her straight. Said, "Girl, look, we from the same culture. We from the same place. We need to get together and discuss this stuff off camera." And did it that way. And then it came on as a force because the two Green Eyes and Stewie, them three been running the show. But the thing of it is now is like Gizelle is trying to distance herself from Robyn. I don't know if it's
Not
a plan
Stewie.
or whatever, but they trying to distance them. She trying to distance herself from Robyn. So like I don't like I said, all of them got faults. Wendy got faults. Candace got faults. Karen got faults. Because Karen was a big liar first when she first came on there, especially with that etiquette mess, got on my nerves. But I'm just saying, all of them have lied on their show. All of them. But what I'm saying is how you go forward. Because Gizelle trying to keep everybody in this hazing thing, in this sorority, you
Right.
tearing down this show. You making the show look bad. You really making this show look bad. Like, who really wants to watch this every Sunday? It's a mess. I used to be happy when Potomac come on when I first started watching it. It was pretty good. I was surprised they picked up number 2, but it was good. It was kept going. But now y'all coming with this bull crap. And if Gizelle think that she can't get fired because she's Andy's friend, ask the one from the OC. Ask Nene. Ask
Vicky.
Phaedra. If he wanted if that network tell him that person got to go, you think Andy finna stop his check? The thing he gonna tell you, well, Gizelle, you got to go. Don't think you can get fired because you think you the boss. Because he'll get rid of anybody who's messing with that show whatsoever. That's what I'm saying. So she need to bring down that head about that cloud, baby, because you can lose that job.
Well, collectively, they're all bringing the show down in the gutter because they don't. And Karen is trying to be that anchor, and she can't. Every time they all end up even being together, it's because of Karen.
Yep.
Karen trying to really, show these ladies like, listen, this is how we got to do it. Like I said, I'm hanging in there, but the thing is too, this reunion does not need to be 3 parts because there is nothing going on. And I do not want this reunion to focus on no shrine.
And I don't know if you mentioned it already, Diva, but I don't think they're getting a cash trip. You know how every year they go like out of the country?
Potomac?
All Housewives, yeah. They went to Mexico last time and they go places.
Well, all of
They
Potomac.
went to Texas. They just came back from Austin, and then they had it in Surry County.
No, but they usually do like towards the end of the season. They do like a cash trip, but I'm guessing they're not doing that this year because they can't be together. They can't get together.
Yeah, I don't ever remember Potomac having no real trips. They go places, but every place they go is low budget.
They went to Monique took them to where they went.
Monique, how long has
Monique took them
been
somewhere.
gone?
They went to Mexico last year.
Yeah, last year they went to Mexico.
They went to Mexico, remember?
But they never been to Japan. They never been to Spain.
No, that's the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's the Real Housewives of Atlanta with that one.
Even though they go to these places, is low budget. No, I mean, I'm not trying to be friends. It's very low budget. They like
on that paddle boat eating sandwiches.
Toya just took them on the wine trip, and they was in that nice hotel and went to the spa and stuff. I've never seen Potomac really go on a trip. Oh, Ashley took them to Portugal. I forgot about that. See, it's on that, not even memorable to me.
But I think you're right though, because I think it's Beverly Hills. They're the ones that go like to these extravagant trips. Like they're in Spain right now. But yeah.
Yeah, the chicken bingo. Like I don't know. I just never seen them do anything. Yeah, they went to Miami. Wasn't that with Mia? It wasn't nothing. They didn't do anything. I don't remember anything. And the rooms were okay. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, the room okay. They stand in the room with a sewer pipe going across the top of the roof.
Right.
The top of the ceiling.
And Mia and Jacqueline had to share a shower.
They probably do that anyway.
That part. It didn't Robyn had to leave because she said it was that time of the month for her and she didn't want to share a bathroom with her bestie with Gizelle.
That was that time when Wendy had took them to to the place with
that's right.
the vibe, their vibe.
That was GBO. Good vibes.
Yeah, that was Wendy did that.
And
that's
then
when
they
he
go
went,
to a trip with Katie when she disappeared.
that's when they went to the Cayman Islands, wasn't it? When
Yeah.
what's gonna went home?
Listen, I don't. Nothing was really memorable to me with the. And speaking of that, listen, we're about to break out. But speaking of that, tomorrow night is Married to Medicine, and that was a foolery on that show too. Because now you can't. Your husband cheated at McDonald's, so you're never going to go to McDonald's ever again in your life. I mean, I was like, what in this?
Not that location, Diva. Not that location. We're going to another McDonald's.
I mean, what's the tomfoolery? So he went in the airport, so you never going to go to that airport again ever?
I think she be listening to your reviews, Diva, because when I was saying that Heavenly is Jack and mouthpiece, what the first thing Simone said, get your mouthpiece, get your bulldog. They listen because she is Heavenly. Heavenly say everything Jackie want to say, but Jackie don't want to say it because she try to keep that upstanding personality that she got.
I'm so over her. It's too much. I'm so over her. Like, it's too much. She's too much. And she's too grown for all of this. Too much. And it's at the kid's birthday party. I mean, I'm supposed to remember your husband cheated and exactly where your husband cheated at. And when I go to plan something, I can't ever plan it there because that's where your husband had his indiscretion. And then he's sitting on the couch talking about as long as they don't make a fool of me. Curtis, go back to the DR and shut up.
That's what you made a fool of yourself.
But why would I care that your husband was cheating at this place when you took him back and forgave him and you supposedly sleeping with him in the bed every night? If you forgave him, I did too. What the hell are we talking about here?
That part, E. And we're going to get into it tomorrow. Like, it's so stupid. So he back in your bed. He kissing you everywhere. But God forbid we go back to the place with okay. Well,
I don't think he kissing you because he kissed her on the cheek. He ain't kissed her on the lips, man.
He didn't.
I can't wait to talk about this tomorrow.
I wish my husband would kiss me on the cheek. I'm be like, what? Who else you kissing?
I can't wait to talk about this tomorrow because Phaedra need her tail whooped and Heavenly to let
Phaedra was the star.
What I'm saying is Phaedra tricked Heavenly crazy self to wear that ugly outfit.
Oh.
That thing around her neck like somebody snatched it off the top of her shirt.
Well, Phaedra had it in on the confessional, so Phaedra didn't find a problem with that. She had a very similar outfit like that on in the confessional.
Well, she tricked the heck out of Heavenly.
You know what? They were similar. Now that you pointed that out,
similar. No, that's Phaedra's style. And so Heavenly had it on. But listen, Daddy liked it, I guess. Anyway, y'all, we'll be talking about Married to Medicine tomorrow. Listen, if you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button going out. Listen, y'all, don't cheat the diva this year. Like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for coming through for the Real Housewives of Potomac recap. First come, first serve, they said. And so since what's his name, Robyn and Mia wasn't the first ones to get an invitation, they declined their invite. Listen, it was better off without them. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Good night and goodbye.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Diva.